taking video. Well, South Fork, Salmon River, Idaho. There's hot steam and hot water coming out of this cliff from right there. Boom. That little hole is emitting very hot water, probably 140 degrees or so, 130 something. And it's so awesome because there are pools at the base of it. And the river is not too high to be swamping them. So we can go have a soak. And there are hot springs all the way across the opposite bank. You can see lots of orange moss right down there. And that's where all the hot water is seeping out of the Idaho batholith granite. Woohoo! It's hot crevices. And it's beautiful late May, last day of May. Sunny day, finally, after weeks of rain. In this beautiful gorge. And the spring melt is not too terribly high. I guess it can typically get high enough to overflow the banks and the pools, but not today. Big burn area. Yay! Good road. Yeah, I'm not sure it gets any better than this. That there is a hot pool, and that thing that looks like a stick is a tube with water, hot water, dropping down in there into that lovely mortared stone pool that some beautiful local people have built. Yeah, for sure, it doesn't get any better than this. Pretty darn good. So, can one knit in a hot spring, in a hot pool on the edge of a beautiful, wild, and scenic river? I think I'm living proof that you 100% can. So, yeah, I've been working on this. The vest continues. Everything looks good next to a river, see? I think I showed you this. The pocket has been joined. Yeah, I showed you this next to a river in California, but I gotta go up to the armpit, which is 16 inches, and I'm at about 14 inches right here. So, and I didn't bring my finished gloves. I have so many little projects going on that I'll fill you in on soon when I get back. I just ran out of the house. I had to get out here because I got to get back. I have one night out here to camp out. So I might as well explain what the heck is going on. Why the heck am I in Idaho? Well, Idaho, Utah. Yes, I'm totally naked. This is only one of many of these out here, so I'd like to maybe get out on boat on some of these rivers, but I need somebody to do it with so I don't kill myself. But many of them look very doable actually, down to the hot springs, that last set of hot springs. Anyway, what am I doing in Idaho? So you gotta work sometime, right? I have a job. Ooh, a little small bird of prey just flew up into the branches above me. And we're hanging out with a monkey flower. Sticky monkey flower, they love wet creek sides. So I am a hydrologist, a seasonal temporary position in McCall, Idaho as a hydrologist for the Forest Service on the Payette National Forest. And it's amazing doing work that I've been doing for almost 20 years now, doing erosion control related to forest roads, logging roads, ranch roads. It's been my job for many years. So it's been quite the haul, as you guys have seen, and I'll show you more knitting. Now that I'm established, we'll go back to the cabin. You can see the little cabin, and you can see a whole bunch of knitting. I have been making some progress, although now I think, you know, work really cuts into the knitting life. I can come home and knit for maybe like an hour or two, and I can tell with all this amazing scenery around me that my knitting is going to be even limited on the weekends, because I'm going to be getting out and doing really fun things on the weekends, which you podventures will come along, will you? So, I'm here at least until the end of November, and yeah, should be great. Should be awesome. What else? Oh yeah, so it's been quite a haul to get here. And I just wanted to share a couple of fun knitting observations that I had on the way. So I've knitted in a lot of neat spots in big ponderosa pine forests, but one of the funnest things to do, believe it or not, okay, packing is never fun, right? Packing to move. I keep it pretty simple. I mean, I took a truckload and a carload here, and I hauled the whole carload from Durango to California and then to Idaho, and then I actually hauled the truckload from Durango. But I mean, I think it's pretty minimal. Like, I don't have a whole bed. I just have a mat, sleeping bags, and, you know, a few pieces of furniture and a guitar and all my knitting. So all the knitting was the fun part to pack up. It was like going to my very own knitting shop. Like, I've been going to knitting shops lately, and, you know, it's great. It's always great. I always see new things, but I haven't been as jazzed as I was a year ago, and everything was new. And then I went back to my house and I started going through all of my stash in Durango to pack it up, and it was like a kid in the candy store all over again. It was so great. It's fun to love the stuff you have, because, right? I mean, for the most part, the stuff you have is the stuff you got because you liked it at some point. So that was really awesome, and so most of it's with me, and I'll show it to you when we get back to the double octagon cabin. Want to go check out the double octagon cabin? You want to get naked and get in a hot tub? I know you do! I want to get out of your way. Check it out! That's beautiful! I love it! Aww! Feel it! It smells like sulfur! You can find hot springs by looking for steam and looking for sulfur, or smelling for sulfur and smelling for, or looking for orange patches or bare patches on the landscape, or white humps on the landscape often. See you later! Howdy, y'all! Just me and the birds out here. So, welcome to the cabin. Here's the cabin. Just me and the birds out here. We're about 6 miles south of McCall. You can hear them. The North Payette River runs right by here, around the back. And I wanted to show you some. So you just came from the South Fork River, and I mentioned the granitics. Whoa, that's bright. They're shiny. There's beautiful quartzes and micas in there. So beautiful. Probably didn't get to see that very good, but yeah. So anyway, we will go in a minute and look at knitting. But before we do that, I wanted to serenade you. I knew it was gonna be a big deal coming here, so I got myself this. This is my guitar. It's a mini Taylor. I got it in Arcata, and I know a few people, but besides knitting, this is kind of what I do and working. I love it. It's pretty. It's little. It fits me perfect. I love it. So, right up front, my apologies to the two musical fellas, and you know who you are, who have heard me play this 1,000 times already, but they're not around, so who cares? You've never heard it. Fell cold through June. Grass is up to my thigh. Say it dries up, it'll burn just like the moon. Say it opens up the seeds of pine. reaches up to my thigh. Say it dries up, it'll burn just like the moon. Say it opens up the seeds of the pine. Say it opens up the seeds of the pine. Say it opens up the seeds of the pine. Welcome home. Come on in. It is a beautiful sunny day, and yeah, let's go inside. I promise I have done no prep. Everything you see is as it is. It's so fun to just have a romper room for a change. Here's the inside of the house. It is every bit as awesome as it looks. It's really fun to live in wood. It's an old place. It has some really funny quirkiness to it, but of course we love that, right? And yeah, like I said, I didn't do any special prep. For you guys, we're just gonna sit down. I promise you, this is real live knitting romper room now, I swear to God. And I would love to get you up to date on some projects and what's been going on. And that really is just sitting there. Cat Bordy's book. And all the fun stuff. There's a little felted bowl that I once... Two felted bowls. There's some lovely... We're going to talk about this. Let's take this with us. And there's some amazing yarn from Petaluma. Or from, yeah, Petaluma Twirl. A whole bunch of beautiful stuff that I got on my own little personal yarn crawl in California, which you'll get to see more of. And my little knitting nook. This is amazing. This is all alpaca silk. Debbie Bliss Andes. And I got a project going on with that. How fun is that? I don't ever have to put that away. Woo! So I'll have myself a little sit down and we'll have ourselves a little chat. First of all, you gotta see these. The biggest ants in the world live here. I think it's 1 inch long. Ah! Hey, so welcome to the inside of the cabin. Hope you like it. Yeah, again, so I'm in Idaho, and as I told you, I'm working. So I got this wonderful place, which it's been a really great connection. There's several people here that I've known from other places who have known people I know, like the owner of this house. One of his very best friends is a guy I worked with in Oregon for a little while, and I actually went and visited both of them before I came up here. So, it's a beautiful place. The bird songs are amazing, and there are pileated woodpeckers and all sorts of barns. There's lots of different kinds of swallows, tree swallows and cliff swallows, I think. And lots of cattails and red-winged blackbirds where I go biking to work. Yeah, you'll see more around town. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you caught up on the knitting, and then in subsequent weeks I'm going to be a very good person and put out videos on my travels. I've been traveling before I got here just finished my 3rd week of work. And before I got here, I had traveled for 2 months, including getting here. So I have lots of footage that has at least some knitting in all of it. But Joshua Tree, inland coast range of Northern California, way north, like 5 hours north of San Francisco. Some stuff from Humboldt County, but not much. I went to see Polly Knits, woohoo! And what else do I have? I'm gonna have something from, I have a couple trips from Colorado from before I left with knitting for sure. And what happened after? Well, after after California, there was a little bit of Portland stuff. I'm not sure if I'll do anything with that. And then yeah, the entire trip out here. So there may be some shows with no knitting, and things may get out of order knitting wise, because I'm going to show you some stuff that was in progress. So you'll go back, we'll be here now, and then you'll go back in time and then catch up to now. So one of the things that I was working on way back when, which I may have already shown you, is the ribbed coin cable hat by Ivy Brambles, I believe is the designer, but it's from the alpaca Plymouth yarns, alpaca. I don't know. I was looking for the tag and I couldn't find it. And I really love it. It's I find it top heavy. I feel like it's just gonna spring off of my head. It's very springy on the top, but my ribbing should have been done in a much smaller needle. It is, I believe, was done on, of course, my Haya Sharp circulars in the round of somewhere, I want to say 6s. I think 6s. Maybe 6s for the brim and then 7s for the body. I don't know, but I'm giving it away to my coworker whose birthday was just a couple days ago. Our crew leader, who's awesome. She deserves it. She's also away from her man. Her man is a backcountry ranger. So she gets this, because she lives here year-round, and it gets really, 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 really cold here. And what else? So yeah, I come home and I knit. I probably spend too much time knitting, but I've been getting a lot done, obviously, since I've been here in the last 3 weeks. This, you saw it in the hot tub, it's done. This is, well, it's not done, but it's the front left panel of the Berard by Glenasee. It's awesome. And yeah, again, ooh, I think the neck's gonna be tight, but it's gonna continue all the way up with fuzzy underneath. Oh, I think I definitely made this neck part, should have been way more low cut, but whatever. I'm going to make it, I may end up putting some of the very soft, so inside is some of that same alpaca silk that I just showed you. But the neck is going to have that lined with it also, so I may end up just knitting a piece that goes here, because I can already feel that it's a pretty itchy yarn. This is the North Ronaldsay from Scotland, the endangered sheep. Yeah, I'm that far behind on everything. I haven't hardly been watching any podcasts. I watch Knit Spin Farm, and I watch What You Swatchin' pretty regularly if I can, and Multi-Craftual mostly. And Polly, of course, Polly Knits, and everyone else, hello. I don't have any hellos this time. I will have some hellos in, I do have a, thank you, Ms. Ginger of Absolute Wonder, I bought this beautiful little baglet from her Absolute Wonder shop, and she was so sweet. She sent me, here it is, she sent me some stitch markers that have some amazing, lovely, oh, isn't that cute? It's lined, and it has her little, she also sent me some stitch markers, which came with this, and I believe they're the beautiful green jewel, and I have so sadly, I've been looking for them. I misplaced them. I know they're around. But dang it, where did they go? There's some beautiful gem. But thank you, Ginger. You all should check out her stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's really nice. That is not a shameless plug. I really like her work. She has a very naturey. Anyway, the back is done, and I haven't done anything else on the other side. So I have to make the pocket, and I will. It's great. I had to buy more cables on my yarn crawl in California. I had to buy more cables. So this is one of those instances, I probably already told you guys this, that I swatched in stockinette, and that didn't do me any good, measuring wise, so I did actually go back and swatch in. But I may end up having to tear those out for the yarn. What else? You guys saw, well, you will see, I guess it almost completely doesn't matter, because you haven't seen this yet, because I gotta get my future past podcasts together. This is Mountain Colors, called worsted yarn called River Twist, that I picked up. Actually, there's a picture of it on my Ravelry page. I picked it up in California in Ukiah from a very cute little shop, and I started designing these mitts, and they're extremely too tight. It's so deceptive. Every time I put something on the needles and then take it off, it either seems too huge, but isn't, or seems fine, but is really actually too small. And once I get these on, I guess my ribbing I abandoned this because I like my design. There's a bobble and a cable, and I like my ribbed lace, but it's too tight. It's too stretched out. I don't like my fringe. It acts weird. So I'm going to use, and it turns out that this particular variegated yarn, which it took me the hard way to learn this, looks great in stockinette, which I almost never want to do stockinette. But what happened was I ended up with a different pattern, a beautiful pattern for the fingerless gloves, because I've really been wanting to make fingerless gloves, and they ended up, is it here? No, this is a whole different story. I'll link it. It's this really cute little fingerless glove with a peacoat hem and a peacoat edge, and I made it, and the same thing happened to me again. I mean, I tore this out and made this like 3 times, you shall see. And it was not, they were too small for me. And I made the cuff one cuff shorter than the other. And so a friend was over here, my coworker's girlfriend, and they fit her perfectly. I knew they would, so I gave them away. But she promised me we'll do a finished object field trip with it. So bear with the crazy, random, out of order that this world is for me right now. It feels really good to get situated all in one spot again for a little while. I mean, I'll be here till the end of November or so, but we'll see. And also, you can't see this, so you must have seen it when we walked in, but my alpaca jacket is sitting here. I'll show you. It was really great to get it, like I said, to have a place to spread out, to lay everything out, so that I could just leave it out and not have to put anything away. So I pinned everything down. These are all pinned so that I could really look at my swatch colors and decide what to do. And of course I haven't decided what to do, and I will, but I haven't. You guys are probably sick of that project, but you know what it's all about. You know, it's about doing things when you feel like doing them. We have a couple of days of really boring, mindless. It's the Forest Service, so they put you through all kinds of trainings and orientations and meetings and group gatherings for days at a time. So in preparation for that, I thought I could bring that, because that's a pretty if I get my act together, which I probably won't, because I'm up to the panel where I need to start figuring out the armpit and stuff like that, and more thought than mindless. So I pulled out another ball of Mountain Colors that I also got in in Ukiah, because I bought all blues and greens there. You'll see. That's a different podcast. But this is let's see, Mountain Colors Barefoot in the Headwaters colorway. It's 60% superwash, or Reno, I think. Is that say wool? 25% mohair and 15% nylon. It's a sock yarn. I bought a bunch of sock yarn because it was so beautiful. So I've started just a toe up vanilla sock again, back to stockinette. But I knew, you know, for all the driving I've been doing around and for all these meetings coming up, I knew I was going to need a stockinette project. A sockinette project. Very soft, incredibly wonderful. Beautiful to work with. Ugh. You guys know. That's why I'm telling you. Because you know what it means to have this, to have 400 yards of wonderfulness just roll through your hands. You know. I'm in love with my own stash. If you're not in love with your own stash, then replace your stash. So, anyway, back to that whole... Oh, let's talk about this first. Speaking of things that feel wonderful in your hands, so back to the Andes, W Bliss Andes, the alpaca silk. I'm making... Check this out. Oh, yeah. Hey, there's the stitch marker. I knew it was around. Ginger. What is this? What is this lovely thing? I know it won't focus for me. Come on. Yeah, this camera's lame. Once it's recording, it's the cutest thing ever. Maybe I'll put some pictures in. Tell us, what is it, Ginger? This is 3 balls making another tweed-like texture. And then you saw all those colors in a row. I'm going to just keep mixing them up to make this really awesome skirt. Hang on, right there. It's a chevron skirt. This is Knitter's Magazine. And I'll probably make it a little more A-line than that. I'll probably increase they only increase for the hip. I think I might maybe keep increasing. I don't know. I have tons of yarn, so I'm excited. And basically, it's really interesting because it starts with 4 triangles, and then you join them together, and then you keep going. And I'm not sure how it ends, but it has hems. Anyway, oh god, it's gonna be so warm. I don't mind knitting in the summer for winter things. I'll be ready for winter. And then, yeah, like I said, I am a crazy person when it comes to not being able to size things correctly. So I was really on this fingerless mitt kick, which I'm still on. I actually ordered more of this because I really want a pair of those mitts. I learned a lot from redoing them several times. So I got this, and when I was designing, I was just looking at a whole bunch of knitting patterns. This is Lace Fingerless Gloves by Luciana.ca, another Canadian. And it's knitted from the top down. And the only thing I don't like about it is that the gusset's fine, but it's a very short thumb. So I think I'd probably go back and pick up stitches and add a little bit. But what kept happening, this was the craziest thing. So I had this beautiful, 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 beautiful yarn from, you've seen it before, also from Petaluma. It's a Shetland hand spun by, oh, where's that tag? I know it's here. Here. There's baskets under there, by the way. Surprise, surprise. By Windrush Farms in Petaluma. by Mimi Luberman, who it turns out that the owner of this house in Oregon, his wife, knows her very well. His wife is actually totally into knitting and weaving. He wasn't even going to give me this place because I'm a seasonal. And then after we got to chatting and we knew our connections, he called me back the next morning and said, "You're the type of person we want in there." Am I not? Of course. Right? Right. Anyway, beautiful stuff. That pattern calls for worsted weight. It calls for something like 38 stitches around on size 6s. And I swear to God, it was coming off the needles this big. Like you could fit 2 hands in it. And then I kept going down in needle size, and then it just got ridiculous for worsted weight yarns. And then I tried this other yarn that my friend gave me, and it's nylon, and the same thing was happening, getting just enormous. Wait, here it is. Here it is. This is probably a, and then I reduced stitches by like 6 stitches, and look, it's just, does this happen to you? Does this just, did I take it off the needles too soon? Probably. This one's egregious, like that, way too big. But then I would do, so here's one. So then I picked up all this leftover from the Baby Gramps sweater. This is the Woolen Rabbit from New Hampshire. And yeah, I started knitting here. Here's the thumb. And yeah, I thought for sure that it was the right size, and it's tight. It's just tight. It's all wacky. So I'm gonna have to revisit that. I think I was doing that on 4s. Terrible at writing stuff down. Did I write it down? Probably not. But anyway, that is on hold. I'll probably do those little mountain colors. And I checked out the yarn shop here in McCall, and the lady's super nice. Linda at Keeps Me in Stitches. So Thai restaurants, hair stylists, and yarn shops have the cleverest puns for names ever. I think that's it for knitting. So enjoy the very brief footage of the pileated woodpecker that I'm going to show you, and rest assured that videos are coming your way. I'm so excited. There's so much. It's a lot. I have 100 hours of video. So be patient, but don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you guys. Not at all. And tell your friends I'm back. So after this, I hope to get another video out very, very soon. Hope all's well. Happy summer, y'all. Bye.